Hello, I am Professor Zahoor, ex-Dean Faculty of Fine Arts, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. In this module, I will tell you how to use photograph for creating a work of art. I have chosen a photograph on iPad. The most important factor while selecting a photograph is the composition. And if there is anything missing or compositionally incorrect, one can arrange the things or amend it while making a painting on the canvas. In the picture which I have chosen, the white area and the positive area is almost 50-50, and the tree is coming in the center. One can enlarge the picture on iPad and choose the area which is compositionally sound and balanced. A little bit of alterations can be done as per ideas, presumptions, balance and imagination. One can crop certain portion to create a balance in negative and positive area. One can add as well as eliminate while maintaining the original character and layout of the photograph. I will use acrylic colors in thin as well as impasto technique. Choose one dark color and make it act as a base for the painting to progress. I am using burnt sienna for the base and applying it with a spatula. The rough patches add to the textural beauty. The palette knife helps in filling the pores of the canvas, and the color spreads very nicely, retaining the beauty of the strokes. Try to cover the maximum area and making burnt sienna as base coat instead of the spread of whiteness of the canvas. The visceral quality will stimulate the imagination and raise artist spirits. The strokes will tell his story full of excitement, curiosity and wonder. Layer by layer, a new story will be exposed with new explorations. Add mauve color as the second color to fill in the areas peeping whiteness. The spread will become a blend of warm, burnt sienna and cool color mauve. The abstraction makes one enter an imaginative world. Very aptly, Brian Crawford Young said, most painters will tell you they are transported whenever they paint. The aim just flies. It is the combination of having to concentrate and yet enjoy at a deep level of application of colors to canvas. It is sensual and addictive. A creative process can form different equations with the artist as well as the spectator. One may try to find things at places which are actually not there. Take a look at the photograph and roughly put the marks where the trees are placed. The left part of the scene is light and the left area is going to be dark. Take light blue and start spreading it in uneven strokes on the left, an area which is going to be acting as light base. Gradually keep on increasing the whiteness and let the magic of transparencies reflect the mauve and burnt sienna as some places. The best thing about acrylics is that it is a quick drying medium and one doesn't need to wait for the color to dry before applying another tone over it. The important factor is that while applying color, one should not let the color go dirty. The freshness should be maintained as that only adds to the luminosity in a painting. With time, practice, and knowledge, and artists come to know the quality of colors and with which color the other color would be highlighted. The nature of the colors and combinations, the textural approach, fearless application all add to the beauty of the painting. Gurj Allen said, I try to remain cognizant of the potential beauty of a single mark of the brush as an element in itself. In the second half of the canvas, that is the right side, apply the shades of the yellow ochre, greens, burnt sienna, whites and purple. Mix them well and let their blocks form their own language with each other. The intermingling of colors will form myriad tones. For example, when blue is applied next to yellow ochre, it will reflect green, and when yellow ochre is applied with burnt sienna, then tones of deep orange will create its own depth. All these tones will act as a base and beauty the elements which are going to be made over them. A beautiful, enchanting background will create magic with the things which are going to be painted over it. Clyde Spivak said, you are creating interest in foundation by creating those knowledge gaps like in a novel, but not in a totally obvious way, or it can get boring or trite. The experience makes an artist fully aware of what he is going to create and how to find forms in abstraction and make a simple thing appear magical. The brightness will be added by mixing yellow and white, and the rough depths of the color will make the dark layer stand out in contrast. To create visual balance by creating a link between left and right side of the canvas, start spreading yellow on the left too, so that an interconnection of two spaces is formed. The white and mauve of the left are being reflected on right, and the yellows of right are flying over on the left. Feathery background and ripple textures of the brush strokes will add to the charm of the trees, which are going to be built over this colorful base. The place has become rich with new hues which are cropping up by overlapping colors. The canvas in front of our eyes is devoid of any details and is just looking like a mysterious and beautiful interplay of the bold blocks of tonal variations. It has become an open ground for endless possibilities. David Urban says one of the things about painting is that you can look backward as readily as you can look forwards. There is an openness to it, an intangible quality that defies summarizations. The textural setup is the sturdy foundation upon which numerous layers are going to be imposed with careful planning, yet enough freedom to keep it spontaneous. Now is the time to draw the trees. The branches will spread their arms and embrace the sky. Every direction a branch will take will add to the playfulness and spontaneity. Its body is rooted in the ground, but its ground dances in the sky. It has an energy in its structure and charges the surroundings too. When its arms pierces through the space of the sky, trees have a habit of looking unbalanced, awkward, or plain crazy. Despite nature's best endeavors, not all trees make good subjects, unless a leaning or glossy, unsymmetrical tree is going to be of same advantage to your drawing. You would benefit from first studying trees and their growth habits to learn the basic rules. But whatever your approach, one aspect remains constant. trees possess three-dimensional form. Add the green depths to represent the foliage. Side by side, keep on adding light blues and mauve to change the background as per the composition. Blues and greens will keep on spreading their wings over the sky and branches and bring brightness and luminosity to the painting. The patches should be impulsive and spontaneous. As being too meticulous and deliberate with the strokes tend to break the visual flow and hinders the visual beauty and progress of the painting. Like Peter Stamp says, we are flying, but when you paint them, you have to be indifferent to them. You set it in jest. But it is true. You work out of passionate indifference. Trees can be whimsical and imaginative. A tree is symbolic of nurturing energies, happiness, magic, balance, flexibility, renewal, wisdom, strength, solidity, inner vision, and dreams. One can discover new resources in the form of a tree by drawing and exploring it imaginatively. The addition of yellow in contrast to the greens, the blues will make the foliage more enigmatic and will impart a softer look to the leaves. The holes through the foliage have been mapped out and the base or background has started acting like a shadowed area. The character of the trees is very playful and free. One can just catch its movement and essence in the brush strokes and alter it to suit the requirement of the composition. An artist is an interpreter, not a reporter. So it's not important to bring out each and every detail of an object. Like Jeff Koons very aptly said, if I try to articulate every little detail in drawing, it would be like missing the forest for the trees. So it's just about getting the outline of the forest. One needs to feel, observe, and enjoy the interesting features of the composition. Every artist will give a different expression to the same subject. This depends on the ideas, imagination, experiences, inspirations, and skill of each artist. Auguste Rodin said, "The modes of expression of men of genius differ as much as their souls, and it is impossible to say that in some among them, drawing and color are better or worse than in others. The whole essence has been brought to simplest form with twists and turns of brush strokes, loaded with tones of greens, yellows, and blues. To highlight yellow, green is applied next to it, and now to highlight green another dark tones has been imposed next to it so that the scene becomes enriched with interplay of lights. Silhouettes and shadows. This only interconnects even the disconnected parts of the composition and forms visual language. Applying a tone of green loaded with blue and brown next to the tree trunk will create the darkest depth. It will add another dimension and fill the space with more energy. These patches of the foliage are actually not as they are visible to the eye. They are enriched and applied with imagination, vision, wonder, and pleasure. The scene from an artist's mind always makes a familiar thing appear in a new light. If one looks at the scene with eyes half closed, then automatically all details will vanish and just the impression of colors will be visible, and the thrill is in painting that impression. Claude Monet said, when you go out to paint, try to forget what object you have before you, a tree, a house, a field, or whatever. Merely think there is a little square of blue, here an oblong of pink, here a streak of yellow, and paint it just as it looks to you, the exact color and shape, until it emerges as your own naive impression of the scene before you. On the trees, light may reflect from different angles surfaces. One needs to highlight various parts of the foliage, diffuse certain areas, and even reinforce deepest shadows. Change in overall tone will keep on coming with each and every stroke and layer as per the direction of the lighting and need of the composition. After retouching the foliage with multiple layers of tonal variations, it is time to take another look at the background, where more tones are needed, and it's important to highlight and diffuse selected portions to make them active again. The background has been totally subdued with the coats of foliage. To form a communication between trees and the dull background, touch it up with tones of mauve and maximum on the left side with pure white, which we noticed initially in the photograph. Each stroke will determine the next. One can transform the mood of the painting totally and even eliminate a few unwanted strokes by coating over them. Stella Rainward very beautifully quoted. Unlike in music, we painters have the freedom to layer over the sore notes or crop off the discord. If an artist conceives with his spirits and inner vision, then he becomes totally free from the worldly notions. He is transported in his imaginary world and is raised to a condition free from the body. Every stroke will become an element for him and hold its own place. The white depths next to the tree trunk, on the sky and peeping in from the gaps of the foliage is adding to the freshness of the scene. Till now, yellow was the lightest and brightest, but now the white area has gained all the attention. The feathery touches of white are bringing out more of the textural beauty. In fact, white is helping in enhancing the other elements of the composition. It has made the whole space impregnated with energy and formed a communication between foreground and background. One can feel it within oneself as well as in visual language. The painting might seem complete to the spectator, but an artist's spirits are never at peace. He would always want to add more and more strokes, whose importance only he knows. After a few dabs of mauve highlights, add brightest tone of cadmium yellow, orange and vermilion at the few places. One can see what difference just a chance of color does. It has pushed everything in background and forming new musical notes. The painting is turning out to be an artist's unique piece. It's an extract of an artist's imagination, a reconstruction of a photograph. Henry Matisse said, I want to reach the state of condensation of sensations which constitutes a picture. Perhaps I might be satisfied momentarily with a work finished at one sitting, but I soon get bored looking at it. Therefore, I prefer to continue working on it so that later I may recognize it as a work of my mind. A few sprinkles here and there are bringing out more beauty by breaking the monotony of the scene. One can notice that gradually how in each layer of colors the center of attraction kept on changing. At first, it was background, then foliage, then whiteness of the background, and now the orange and yellow depths of colors. One learns to train one's eye and mind as per the need of the creation. Diffusion and highlights become the integral part of the painting by the play of colors and textures, chiaroscuro and silhouettes, knowledge and imagination. One can create wonders in bringing out the essence of the object and representing a thing with a unique touch of explorations, realizations, and possibilities. After the patches of bright shades, time to bring the painting towards its final touches. Draw a few lines of branches and retouch yellows and whites wherever needed. Ending the module with artistic quote of Ernest Kirchner, it seems as though the goal of my work has always been to dissolve myself completely into the sensation of the surroundings in order to then integrate this into a coherent painterly form.